All right, come on over. So now we got our pedals loose. Now we took these off for shipping just because, again, if somebody stacked something, we didn't want somebody putting pressure on this and breaking your pedals off unnecessarily. Real easy to put on. They just orientation knob up, just slides on like that. Right for right, left for left, just like that. Okay. Now you can tension these up a little bit. You don't know exactly what you're going to want yet, but just kind of get yourself in the middle. There's an indicator on the top turntable in the back that'll show you center. Just make sure that's center, and then you can kind of just get yourself to a generic center position where these are even. Nothing to it. All right, so now we come back to the battery box. Great news is we've done most of the work here for you. Come on in close, let's take a look. So you see when we open the box up, we've got a cable and we have a divider. Now these two things, not terribly difficult. Grab your battery, whichever battery you may have selected. We have a Lifetime 3650. It's kind of our standard default we've been testing with. Go ahead and slide that in. I'm gonna go ahead and take the divider panel, drop that. All right, now, rest is pretty simple. You wanna make sure you get the positive side on the right-hand side of the boat as you sit in it, okay? So the passenger side of a car on this side, closest to the breakers where you want the red cable to end up. This is already here. You go ahead and grab that cable, connect that to red. And then you go ahead and take your black. So get your cable generally oriented where it's going to end up. So when you tighten these down, it's going to kind of feed the cables the direction that you want it to go. Tighten that down. Now if you have a wrench, you can tighten a wrench. I suggest you want these to be tight, but you don't want them to be excessively tight. If you don't have a wrench handy, you can use a Phillips screwdriver. Just go ahead and demonstrate getting that. At least 3 ugga-duggas on this one. There we go. Okay, so now we're tucked up there. Now the reason for that is, I mean, obviously, our batteries at least came with lock washers that are important to make sure nothing comes loose on you, but you definitely want to make sure that you have lock washers or some way to retain those bolts, because they do go through some amount of heat cycling, and that can cause screws to come loose over time, and that's definitely not what we want. Loose screws cause heat. Heat can cause major problems. We don't want that. Make sure those are good and tight. Not too hard, right? We tried to make this really easy for you. And again, basically the process will be the same with any battery that you picked. Just make sure, again, you have the red on the right-hand side as you sit in the boat. You've got your breaker up here in the front. You got your power cable now. Throw my lid on. And now you can see there's two bumps on this. That's where your wire comes out. So that always goes towards the back. So you go ahead and snap that guy on. Ta-da. And now obviously we have our retaining strap. So this one's really important when you're out on the water. You want to make sure to get buckled in here. Go ahead and make sure you get that cinched down good. That'll hold everything in there for you. There's also this bungee we added as well. The bungee is more just for vibration. So the bungee, you can see, pulls around from the front. It just keeps it from wiggling around, just keeps everything nice and tight, and keeps your breaker pulled up to the front. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push the button, make sure that the breaker is off. Take my power cable, you see right up here in the front, we have our power breaker. There's a power disconnect there. Pressing that button will open the breaker and shut the entire kayak off. Closing this breaker then turns the power back on. So know that there is a button to turn it off. If you exceed the current limit for any reason, this little tab will pop out and you have to press that back in to restart. So you want to start out with that open, if at all possible. Now, the thing to look at this, it does have to go in, it does have to go a certain direction. The easy way to tell is look for the logos on the top there. You can see there's a lock and indicator on the top. So all you do is pop your dust cap off. Go ahead, line up your cable, plug her in. Come on up here, reclose the breaker power, and we should have power. Awesome. That's it. Your battery's installed. You've got power to the boat. She is alive. Very exciting time. All right, so the next step is programming the battery meter. So right down here, you'll see it's currently displaying our voltage. If I press it once, it'll switch over and it will show our percentage of power left, okay? But what we need to do is program this to whatever battery you selected. So first thing we're gonna do is just go ahead and hold the button down. And that brings us into programming mode. If you press and hold, now it says LO3. LO3 is indicating that it's for lithium ion batteries, and 3 tells you how many cells are in the pack. So let's go ahead and click through here. FO3 tells us that's for lithium iron phosphate, and then number 3 tells us the number of cells in the string. And again, the last one is gonna be P. P is gonna be for a lead acid battery. And you can see it's lead acid 12. So we're just gonna click back through here. So we're gonna come back to L3, let's go to FO3. Okay, now for all of you who are running a lithium iron phosphate, which I'm assuming is most of you, I'm gonna go ahead and give you just the quick tutorial on how to program this. Just go ahead and hold the button. And now you can see the number is blinking. So we have F indicating that we are on lithium iron phosphate and number 3. Okay, so now we are in F mode, which means lithium iron phosphate. So Fe for iron is what you think about to remember the F. So what we need to decide now is how many cells are actually in the battery we're using. So let's use this one as example. So on the battery, it says it is actually a 38.4 50 amp hour. All right, 38.4. So we have a 38.4 volt battery, 38.4, and the normal voltage for a lithium iron phosphate cell is 3.2 volts per cell. So what we're gonna do is just take the number on the battery. If it's a lithium iron phosphate battery, all you're gonna do is take that number and divide by 3.2. So 38.4 divided by 3.2 volts per cell tells us that it is a 12S battery. So there are 12 cells in series in this battery. Now you can use that same formula for any lithium iron phosphate battery. For lithium ion battery, it's a little bit different. So you'd be, instead of using a 3.2 volt normal, it's actually gonna be a 3.6 or a 3.7 volt normal. Most of them will be 3.6. So if you were gonna do the same thing, if it was a 38.4, you would take whatever number is on the battery. If it is a lithium ion battery, you would divide that number by 3.6 instead, and that would give you the number of cells in the pack. So being 12, now what we need to do is come over here, and we're just gonna short press until we get to 12. Oh, too far. Now we gotta go around. F12. There we go. Press hold. Then it blinks. Press hold to confirm. Okay. Now press hold to exit. Then it comes back. So yeah, you got to do it basically 3 times. Once to enter, once to exit, and then once to get all the way back out to the home screen. And now, if you've done it correctly, if you come in close, you'll see down here there is a little F. So you will see the letter indicating the chemistry type above the voltage number there. It also presents it up above the percentage as well. Awesome. So that's programmed now. You never have to do it again. You can unplug the battery, you can replug it. It'll always remember what you had it set to. Obviously, if you want to change out battery, then you would need to reprogram the meter to the new chemistry and the new setup. Good to go.